Hi, this is Gloria, your life coach. Welcome to another episode of Life's a Shuffle.
Hi, this is Ron Johnson, your life coach, leadership coach, motivational speaker, and health coach, and welcome to another episode of Life's a Shuffle. Today, we're going to discuss chemistry. And the thing about chemistry, it can in all shapes and sizes. I don't mean chemistry at school,
Not chemistry and science. I was
no,
just going to say that.
chemistry actually between people. And why is it so important? We spend most of our life trying to establish connections, relationships, friendships, people, acquaintances, coworkers, people we went to college with. I mean, it can come in all shapes and sizes. Even chemistry with our dogs. You always hear someone say, "Man, when I saw my dog at the shelter, or they picked it up the first time when I was a puppy, I knew this was my dog." So it's all about that chemistry and the connection you feel with another object, and usually it's a conscious object. And it can be, it can be as simple as this: chemistry with the ocean. Some people gravitate towards being at the ocean or outdoors and smelling fresh air. I just got back in Washington, and in any state where it rains a lot, the trees are bigger, right? And in California, trees are small, like bushes, almost like tumbleweeds. So being in Washington, the great benefit there is that trees actually go bigger. And walking in a forest, I mean, it felt like a forest. That fresh air, I was at home. And that's like chemistry too. What do you think, Gloria?
No, that's right. I wanted to. I think I already jumped in earlier when I said chemistry, not like science chemistry, but it's chemistry between two people,
Yeah, it
or
can be. I
it can
mean,
be anything.
yeah, and this funny thing about chemistry, when you break it down, it's very simple. It's the components are non-judgment, similarities, mastery, attraction, mutual trust, effortless communication. So when things are just out of flow without any kind of obstructions, that's you got that flow and chemistry, and that's the amazing thing. I mean, I think it back to, when we always meet someone for the first time, we either feel something or we don't. And sometimes it can take a while to warm up because maybe the person introvert or just not that friendly, who knows, or maybe you're super friendly. It takes a while to warm up, but once you get to know that person, and obviously, it becomes very simple where you can meet someone the first time or see them from the far, you start judging them, right? You start thinking about all these different things that are happening, who they really are based upon their clothes, what they dress, their body type, the height, whatever. And then when you actually talk to them in conversation, like, wow, this person is great, and all of us have been through that. I've done it myself, and I judge someone from afar, and you're like, man, I don't know if I like this person. And they come forward, and you're like, oh boy, they're pretty intelligent. They have something to say. We have something in chemistry. And it's funny. That's what breaks down the non-judgment is when you actually able to have a conversation, because you create all this negative chemistry. Obviously, not chemistry is non-judgmental, but negative chemistry when it comes to people, because we always want to make sure we know what we know when we don't know what we know. If that makes any sense. I'll say it again. We always think we know what we know, but and actually we don't know anything.
Yeah.
And that's the funny part.
Well, you know what it is too is I believe it's as simple as the emotions that two people get when they um it's like a special connection when they have that when they share a special connection, um and it's like that feeling of when we say we click with somebody,
Hmm.
when you feel that and you feel like you're clicking with someone, and it's almost like after you meet that person you can't wait to see that person again, or you want to you want to go see that person again and spend time with that person or talk to that person because you felt something, you felt like a special connection and there was that click.
Yeah, it really is. And give me the description. What do you mean by that click? Like, what does that mean?
So it's like a click when sometimes when okay, we're talking about when you meet someone, right? Somebody
Yes.
new, okay? You talk to this person. So it's either you have that chemistry or you don't. When it's really good connection, you'll feel it right away.
Hmm.
Okay, so the click meaning like you start having a conversation with this person and then you feel something like like ooh, I have, there's something there. There's something about this person that you're either feeling comfortable with this person or you feel like you can just open up and you can tell this person anything. You can talk about anything with this person. So it's that special feeling and it's some kind of connection. And you know what? Everyone experiences it differently. It's in different ways. It's not always um, When sometimes when you hear chemistry, it's not always about like lusting or lust over
Hmm.
somebody, right? But it's being, I would say, being comfortable with another person and having the ability to talk to them um, about anything, just just about anything. And I think that I would say you'd have a great chemistry with that person when you do.
Yeah, it's like it's almost I've experienced it before when I was out there dating all that stuff. It's like when I met this person, it's it's really ironic how I don't know if it's man or whatever. When I first met this person, I was like, wow, she's different. Like she had a no, I'm a man, so I have to. Sorry, I will never say that again. I'm not a man. I'm just a human being. She had a really nice small waist. She had a nice butt, and it's kind of funny when that was all attracting to this person. And then when I got to know them, I'm like, wow, they're amazing. Like they're intelligent, they're smart, they're courageous, they're go getter. You get to know their life experiences, you get to understand who they are, and it's like when I was around this person, I can sit there and talk about anything for hours. It's like nonstop talking. And when I didn't see them because we were dating, when I didn't see them, it's like, man, I'm gonna talk to them, I text them, I'm trying to call them. It's just everything's clicking because it's funny. They judged me too in the very beginning, right? But then when we
Hmm.
got
Hmm.
to click and make conversation, like I said, click, it was like all the walls came down because the perception was now changed because they understand I'm a human being too, and I obviously am not the asshole depicted. They thought I was this kind of gym guy that worked out all the time and meathead. He's a player and all this kind of nonsense. When they got to know me, like, wow, this guy's not like that. And it was just free flowing. And the best way to describe the free flowing means we made every effort to see each other, every effort to hang out. Times were definitely turbulence, but we always kept going and trying. And that's what was cool about that relationship, friendship. I think it encompasses everything from we had a mutual attraction, we had the chemistry, and we were non-judgment. So we didn't judge each other's past. And then she didn't judge mine, but it was just free flowing. And you make chemistry is when your deepest, darkest secrets, fantasies, dreams, wants, desires, you can actually share it and not be, oh, I'm hosting the back. Because, let's face it, when we're out there meeting somebody, friends, like you always got your set of friends. You got your drinking friends, you got your going out friends, you got your mommy friends if you have kids, and whatever it may be. Even with the guys, guy got his mentor, he may have a drinking buddy, he may have going out buddy, whatever, depending upon circumstances. But that's how you figure that out. But when we got past all that, it didn't exist at all. It was not category in who this person was. It was just we're together and we're going to make this thing work and we're going to see how it goes. And that's when it became very, very freeing because most of us always hold something back. But when we kind of free up that limitation of judging, because when judgment proves to be this self judgment in the end. So as I'm judging, well, if this person will think about me this, I'm creating all these thoughts in my head about this person will think about me a certain way. At the end of the day, they didn't. And that's what was wonderful about that. Then once I was able to kind of tell one thing, tell two things, tell three things, the floodgates is opened up. Now here comes everything.
And that's another thing. We're so easy to judge, right? We're very judgmental. So not only do we judge the people, we judge ourselves.
Yeah.
And sometimes when we judge people, we're actually judging them from the outside. So it's like that saying, don't judge the book by its cover.
Yep.
And that's what we're doing. And I think that also with that chemistry, I believe that um, one of the most important thing in a relationship is having that chemistry with the other person.
Yeah.
And when you have that special connection with them, like a strong connection with that someone, you feel very comfortable. You just feel like you can be yourself because you know this person's not going to judge you. You know this person likes you for who you are, right?
Yeah.
And that I think is you not only do you have that special connection with that person, you have that chemistry. And that chemistry is something that can be instant or it could be something that can be built up. And I think in your case with that other person, I can relate to that, is that it might have started as what we call lust, right?
Yeah, yeah, sure did.
Yeah, it started as that, but as you got to know this person or as you got to know each other, it became more, and you both have that strong special connection with each other to a point where I think that when you're not when you're apart, all you think about is this person. What could this person be doing now? What he or she is up to right now? How is she doing? How is he doing? Right? And that's when you know you have that special connection and that chemistry. So it's just being comfortable around that person and just being yourself and just being your authentic self without any judgment.
Yeah, and that's what was so because it's funny. We think of chemistry, man. First thing I had this lust, like I'm kind of curious about this person, right?
Yeah.
And me, with my curiosity, it becomes insatiable. Like, okay, I got to know. I got to do research. I got to figure it out. And once that kind of subsided, it went away. It's like the situation with this person got more fulfilling, and then at the same time, it's got better. Because when let's face it, we meet someone. All of us have done that. You're lusting over them. Something about them, the height, the weight, they're a good person, they're funny, they're smart, whatever it may be. And it's all you think about. And then at the end of the day, it's like, okay, what's next, right? Because after that feeling kind of subsides and kind of goes down, it's like, what's next? What's good about this person is that it kept getting better, like a snowball effect. It's a small ball, which is lust, then became a friendship, then became, a better friendship, then became a relationship, then became a relationship with a friendship, then became the trust, and it's got bigger and bigger. And that's what was awesome about it. It's like the best feeling ever.
Why do you think that is? How did it get to that point or that far? What was it about either that person or what was it about that you two that it went, further than you thought?
You know what? The reason why I went further than I thought is her and I began to develop a really, really good friendship. And at the same time, see, the thing is that even though the times we would satisfy our lust, let's say I quote that, it wasn't just about that. It wasn't like, okay, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. It was more or less we had a friendship. Like we talk about our lives, we talk about our experiences, we talk about our wants, our desires. And it was really great too and fulfilling is that it was not just about being a friendship. It's like bouncing ideas off. Oh, I'm going to do this. What do you think about this? Oh, I'm going to do that. We think about that, and vice versa. When something would come up in her life, she would actually talk to me about it almost right away. If I got an extremely long text, or I call one of those late night texts. So she has something to say. Here comes a whole paragraph of messages, which was like it's cool, but I'm a morning person, so I get things out, and I'm not a writer. So, for example, I would never do long text. I rather talk. And then we went through a lot of trials and tribulations together. And at the same time, with these trials and tribulations, we just got much more intertwined. It's like a vine, right? A vine is not just one strand, it's thousands of strands, right? Together. And the tighter the strands are, more strands they are, the tighter they become together, the tighter the bond becomes. And that's what really fulfilled me is I was able to be myself around this person, regardless of what I am. And but you know what? Let's take them back. At the same time, I was ready to relinquish judging myself, and that's what actually opened up the door. See, a lot of times we hold back in our mind, thinking about this person's going to judge me, are they going to say something? So we just hold back, right? We hold back, we hold back. When at the end of the day, it's almost only so much we can hold back. How do you expect a person to get to know you if you don't open up? Right? Life is
Right.
really just a give and a take, right? You can't always, well, I want them to share every information with me, tell me about themselves, and you don't tell anything about yourself. It's kind of an exchange, right? In a conversation, it's exchange. It's podcast right now, it's exchange, right? We exchange ideas and experiences. It's an exchange. It doesn't have to be, you pay for something, right? It doesn't have to be literal like I pay for groceries, but
Mhm.
it has to be where I was able to now be the Ron, right, wrong, good or bad. And she said something that I'll never forget. She says, "Well, I learned something about you." So what is you have multiple sides to yourself? I said, "No, I'm not schizophrenic." Okay, I had to say that because I'm not schizophrenic. It's just that I think all of us, are trying to navigate this world best way we can, and over time, let's say we do get bumps and bruises, and bumps and bruises become part of our system, our way we think about things, where we deal with problems. So, I'll never forget we'll deal with a situation where when I deal with stress, I close down.
Mhm.
Right. I want to be to myself. And she was like, "Well, you're not communicating with me. You're not talking to me." And I had to explain, look, it's not about you or whatever. I'm going through this tough time right now with some personal things. And I want you to understand that it's not about you. This is how I deal with my problems. 'Cause I'm used to, see, my dad always tell me, son, you want less people in your life because people in your life, less problems. Okay. That's not true. I don't believe that anymore. But the way I was learning to deal with problems is my dad said, well, the only way to deal with problems in your life is to self-medicate. Self-medicate is deal with problems on your own. So when I deal with my problems, I need to process it on my own. I'm not the one blah, 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 blah. Once I process and figure what I'm going to do, then I open up. And she was very frustrated with me. She was upset, and I had to say, "Look, let's have a conversation. I do apologize, but let's have a dialogue. Dialogue meaning like this is what I'm going through, and this is why my behavior. It's nothing personal. It's behavior." And it's like, "Oh, okay, it makes sense." And that opens another doorway because not only because some people can be very frustrated, like you're not gonna talk to me, what's going on, upset, and all this kind of different BS. But if they sit down, at least bring it to your attention, cool, gives you a time to respond and opens up a conversation, then unlocks another door. We're not Human beings are not just one door. We have multitudes of doors. And some doors are so hidden that we only get deja vu when it happens. We have them, oh, deja vu. Or you be taking a shower, you may be like, damn, I have this memory 10 years ago, right? Why is it coming up now? I'm taking a shower, I'm brushing my teeth, I'm driving my car, right? It's funny, like
Mhm.
when you're brushing your teeth, driving your car, something that's mundane, you do on a regular basis, that's when all the thoughts come up.
So, what I got out of that is that um, one of the best ways in that case to build that chemistry and to keep it going is through communication,
Yeah, that proves true to everything in life.
right? So, chemistry in this case between you and and the other person is, I guess, as time goes on, um, it can build.
It
Chemistry
does.
will continue to build. It could be months, years, it'll keep going and going and going. What it is also is that there's a like an emotional connection there.
Yeah, it sure is.
And when you have that emotional connection, there's a high degree of chemistry
Hmm.
between you and the other person. So it's like really strong kind of connection that brings warmth in you or in each
Yeah,
other, I would say. And um, it's like creating a kind of a like a positive something positive there when two people continue to make each other feel better and better and better,
yeah.
and it just keeps going.
Just keep going. It's like a domino effect. I told you, it keeps rising and rising. That's just really cool thing is that this. And so I was doing some research, right? Google and everybody wants to break everything down. This is a man. This is a woman. Okay, let me tell you something. Outside the physical aspects of a man and woman, we're not different. Let's face the reality. We're not different outside of a penis and a vagina. That's all. And genetics and DNA. Yeah, the plumbing is different, of course. Let's face the reality. We're not outside those just a couple of things, we're not different. So obviously Google wants to break down the chemistry means to a woman, chemistry means to a man, and all this. Okay, so cool. I looked up what a man meant. So it says Google says this for chemistry with a man is about the elevated emotions and spark you feel, but also the mellowing emotion and feeling. See, here's the thing is Google's right. See, I hate to say it, us as men, we don't talk about emotion because all we know is do. That can stem from our parents. It can stem from the way we perceive life. Being a man's man. My mom always uses the term, I need a man to be a man's man. What the hell that means, I don't know. I think for her, it means I want a man to take care of the bills. I want a man to take care of the household. I want a man to do all that. Okay, first of all, we're in this system together as universe. No matter what's going on, we're in a relationship, right? And we have that chemistry. So it doesn't matter if someone's down, you bring them up. If you're in a relationship, if someone's up, if someone's, it goes back and forth, right? You can't always be up, you can't always be down, right? But it really hits the nail right on the head is that men don't talk about emotions.
No, no, we had this conversation before. Remember in one of our
We
podcasts?
don't talk about
They
emotions. So
don't.
it's like,
Yeah.
so when I met this person, it's like she tapped on every single emotion I had in my body: physical emotion, sexual connection, uh, the laughter, the chemistry, the openness, the feeling, the warmth. She always used to tell me this, which I thought was stupid. No, no public. What's it called? Public displays of affection. What's it called? What's the acronym? Public
Oh,
displays.
PDA, PDA,
PDA.
the
PD. Yeah,
public
I'm like, what does that
display
mean?
of affection. Yeah,
So you're
PDA.
trying to tell me if I care about someone, I can't show it because people are around. But what proved true is over time, she started being more PDA. Aha. And that, and that was cool because it's like, here we come with all this. I mean, I never forget this. It was like, I first met her, don't fall in love with me. I'm not looking for anything serious. I'm this kind of person. She here is trying to lay me down the line. I thought to myself, that's all BS. Okay.
Why do you think that? Why do you think it was BS?
Because here you're going to put a stipulation of something you don't know the ending or the beginning to, the beginning, middle, and end.
Okay.
It's like judging a book by its cover. What proves to be, obviously, turn the book over and read the back, see, okay, this is just going to hit the book I want. So I get all this BS about don't fall in love, don't do this, this is just, we're just hooking up, blah, 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 right? And it's like, but with Dan, when time went along, she started opening up and that PDA crap went away. Right? That goes for you women out there, saying all this stuff, just let things flow.
You know what
Like,
it was? Is that I sense here that she might have had her, what we call her, guard up for some reason, just being careful. I mean, who knows? Maybe this person had been hurt before and doesn't want to get hurt, and like what you said in the beginning, it might have just been like some kind of infatuation between you two, curiosity, getting that curiosity out of the way.
in that you know what that I think curiosity on both parts. I don't think no one is to blame in this situation, but I think we both had extreme curiosity, right, about
Mm-hmm.
each other, and I think she had a guard up. Maybe she's been hurt in the past. Maybe she has some skeletons in the closet I didn't know about just yet. I'm not for sure what happened, but it was like, okay, what does that mean? Like, I interpreted like, okay, and I'm just, you know, trying to satisfy my needs, and maybe we get to know each other, and we're cool, right? Nothing, nothing else. And that's what was the funny thing is that and at the end, her words, she ate her own words, right? It's
Yeah.
funny. We always come with this who, what, when, where, how stipulation on what, and it doesn't do anything.
So she found something with you and felt something with you. And I think over time, and as she got to know you, she had already felt something. She might have already felt something in the beginning, but maybe was afraid. Maybe was afraid to open up. Maybe was afraid to put her guard down. That's she was protecting something, obviously. And I'm telling you, she could be protecting her heart for some reason.
Yeah, you know what? And those people that come out there with these kind of rules and regulations are the most vulnerable. And I was like that too. Like, I was so afraid of being hurt. What I would do as self protection, when I was in my 20s, is that you would date a girl, but at the same time date someone aside because you're afraid that, okay, this one goes wrong, I got a spare. It's like a spare tire in a car.
Hmm.
But after that, after I relinquished that hold on my own personal heart, because the way to love, the how to love is really an exchange of emotions. Right. So you ever been in a relationship where you just constantly give, 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 like, fuck, I'm giving, what the hell's going on?
Too much. Yeah.
Yeah, too much. I remember one time dating a narcissist, and no matter what I did, it's like I was never good enough. I sent 100 roses. You know what I got? A screenshot, no, a picture with the roses. Not even a call.
Not
And
even a thank you.
and text message read like this: "Oh, this must cost a fortune. Thank you."
Wow.
I was like, "What?" Then I talked to my friends, like females, like, "Oh no, no! If that was me, I'd be all over that guy and all this stuff like that." I'm like, no
Mm-hmm.
matter what I did was not good enough. Like, I was constantly climbing this mountain or climbing this slippery slope. Like, no matter how, if I got 2 inches, I went down 5 inches. If I got 10 inches, I went down 20 inches. It's a slippery slope. And what proved to be true in the long run, definitely she's trying to protect herself, which in turn creates only self suffering because you also protecting yourself from the good and the bad. See, we always think we're protecting ourselves. Oh, we're protecting ourselves from this. No, we're protecting ourselves from the good and bad. And that's where it lied right there. That's the lie we tell ourselves. We're trying to protect our heart. From what? Because no, when you protect your heart, nothing can go in and nothing can go out. Remember that.
Yeah, that's true.
That's my dad told me in life. Nothing, because when
That
you
makes
have
sense.
chemistry with somebody, nothing, everything has to be exchanged of emotions. Like, I'm not a writer. So if she was ever mad at me, she'd write me this long ass essay.
Hmm.
And when I want to talk to her, I want to talk to her like physically in person, not text or
Hmm.
anything.
Hmm. You see, okay, so sometimes again, when we talk about chemistry here, sometimes chemistry, when you feel a certain way with somebody and you feel like it's chemistry, it could just be at times just a feeling. It's not necessarily like you meet somebody, oh, I feel like chemistry with this person. But really it could just be a feeling. And I think what happened with you and the other person was that, as like I said, over time, it just started building up to where there's so much more than maybe chemistry. There's like a special connection. There's some kind of
Yeah.
passion there in between you two, um, and I call that like, I think those kind of feelings are rare. Because for me, when I feel a certain way with somebody or towards someone, um, I don't always have like I feel like I don't always have a chemistry with somebody, and I know it and I'll feel it when I do. And when I do feel a chemistry with someone, that those are the kind of people that I want to keep in my life and I want to keep with me,
Hmm.
and because for me, chemistry is rare.
Yeah.
It's very rare. I mean, I can have, like I said, it could just be a feeling. So in the beginning, if I met you in the very beginning and I feel like, oh, I have a chemistry with him, and then later on, after like talking to you the second time or the third time, like, maybe not, then maybe it was just a feeling. It wasn't really like what I thought, you know, it is.
Yeah. You know what? So here's the funny thing is that I think in the very beginning we were curious. Curiosity, I'm going to say killed the cat, but curiosity is one of those things where we were curious, got it out the way, just like, okay, well, we want more. And that proved to be the reality. See, like you said in the beginning, you may have chemistry and it fizzles out, just like lust, right? You lust one in the very beginning, it fizzles out. But this situation is different. It went up like a rocket. And that's what proved to be the actual reality. Chemistry, well, works out, doesn't work out, you know, but we actually got in a relationship and we dated and we loved each other. It was so cool. I mean, the unfortunate part is that, certain situations, circumstances arise that can't, get to the next level. And I think we have both realized that and we came to conclusion about that situation and it was okay. It was okay. We understood because we communicated.
Again, I think that's one of the best things within a relationship too, is the communication. You have to communicate. You don't communicate, you don't get anywhere. And another thing is not just communication, the friendship. So
Yeah.
if you can have a friendship with someone and love and all those with, and along with the chemistry that you feel that you do have with that person, that again to me is a rare kind of feeling. It's not
Just you don't let
something
that
that,
go.
yeah, it's not something like that just happens all the time.
No, it doesn't. Not at all. And that's when things like that you hold on. Hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah, you do. You have to hold on to.
You hold
For
on.
me, I feel like you have to hold on to that because you don't know, you'll just never find it again.
No, never at all.
No, because I mean, after all these years, even if with me, if I meet somebody new, um, and I feel like I have a certain chemistry with this person because I can hold a conversation with this person, and we can just talk about anything. And that person could be immediately. I'd feel like, oh, this person could be my friend. We could be really good friends.
Yeah.
And I've had those situations where I've I've just met somebody and I just started hanging out with this person and all of a sudden we click.
Yep.
And then next thing you know, we're inseparable.
Yep.
But let me tell you though, I've also had a situation with another person where I thought we had a good chemistry. Um, and this is someone I play volleyball with. I thought, oh, I have a really good chemistry with this person. We could be really good friends, and we were really good together. We were like a team on and off the
Two
court.
peas in one pod.
Exactly. We were a good team on and off the court. But you know what? As years passed by, the more I got to know this person, it was just like a chemistry in the court, nothing off the court. We can't, I just, I can't. There was just something where I can't really be friends with this person.
Yeah,
Although I am cool, I'm cool. I'll when I see you, I'll talk to you. I'll say hi. We'll stay in touch. But any more than that, like being close to you as a friend, and like, well, let's go hang out, watch a movie, whatever, with other friends. I didn't really see that after. But that took me, I don't know how many years until I realized that.
yeah, because you start realizing after a while. I think maybe in this case, what can happen? Someone brought to your attention, and then you're like, oh, wait a minute. Okay, let me check. You start validating what this person said, because something happened to you, brought something to your attention, and you realize, man, wait a minute here. We don't have anything outside the court, and it's like, what the hell? Why not? Then you start trying to challenge that. Like you try saying, like you said right now, you guys are great. You guys like two peas in a pot on the court. At least I said that, two peas in a pot,
Mhm.
but inseparable on the court. But then after that, what happened? Nothing. Right.
Mm-mm.
So then obviously here comes the limitation of the chemistry, right? Chemistry always only good on the court. So then you intercompartmentalize that friend. This friend's only good on the court. Drinking, forget about it. Hanging out, forget about it. Go to movies, forget about it. Trying to bring around other friends, forget about it. But when you meet someone that chemistry keeps growing above and beyond a particular situation or time, that's when you start to realize things are better.
Yep. And like with your story, I can relate to that because I know that feeling, and I do have someone like that in my life because I feel like over time we grew together stronger. And whatever connection we have or we had, I think has only gotten better and I think stronger. And again, it's one of those where I feel like no matter what, no matter what happens, or no matter how this person is, but I always know, and I always told myself there's something about this person. And what it is I think I continue to kind of get to know this person more and learn more about the person, and I'm not done. I'm still learning about this person. You know what I mean? Because there's always going to be something. There's always going to be a surprise. But I think what it is when you feel something and you feel a special connection with someone, you know that those are the kind of um, let's say friendship, if we call it, right? Those are the kind of friendship that you don't want to let go, and it's hard to let go.
Yeah. Because it's fulfilling it all the way around. It's not just fulfilling one aspect, like your drinking buddy or your going out girlfriends or vacation friends. It's all around satisfaction.
It is. And like I said, if you can talk and hold a conversation with this person, I mean, shit, we could talk for hours. Okay. We could be sitting there and talking and talking. And next thing you know, oh my God, we've been here for like 3, 4, 5 hours already. And we're just having a conversation about anything, about whatever it is that comes up. And we can just keep going. So that, I think, right there, you have like a really good connection and a really good chemistry with that person, like a wonderful chemistry.
Yeah. You can't let go. Trust me. I've been there. Can't let go. It's too
No,
tough.
no. And I
So,
think also it's like that's also the part and the point where I say that you accept the person for who they are.
mhm. So let me tell you, like I talk about man's perspective this whole time. I want to hear a woman's perspective. Like, what do you think about chemistry? Like, break it down for me. Just different perspective. I don't care if it's man or woman. What's your perspective about chemistry?
Well, I think like what I told you right now, as I'm telling you this story, for me, it's this feeling. I don't want to speak for every woman because everyone has a different feeling. Everyone feels it in different ways. For me, it's I feel it. Like I feel it in my heart, and like I said, if I could be myself with this person, if I can hold a conversation with this person for hours and hours, um, and if the person if this person understands me, that's another thing. Because me, I'm different. I'm a crazy different kind of chick.
What's crazy? Tell me. Tell us. Tell the whole world what's different.
Crazy would be like, as some of my friends would say, I'm not a typical lady. Okay. Um, I'm loud. I could be, I laugh. I like to laugh a lot, so there's humor. And I like that too. And if I can have that with the other person, I call that, sure, we have a chemistry. Because if he's laughing at my jokes, then he understand my jokes, then yeah. And if I can open up to this person, I mean, I'm gonna get down and nasty here. Okay, fart. If I can fart in front of this person and this person doesn't give a shit about me farting, then damn, this person's like, okay, then yeah, we do have a chemistry. And you know
Ah,
what?
there you go.
Yeah. So to me, again, that's like a connection that I have with this person,
Yeah.
you know? So that, and I don't care if this person does the same thing in front of me, because you know why? If you do, I'm allowing you to be yourself because I like you. I want you to be yourself. Show yourself who you are to me. I don't like fake people, and I can tell, and sometimes you can immediately tell if someone is actually being fake, right?
Hmm.
Um, and then so there's a lot chemistry. There's a lot of meaning for me, and sometimes it's really hard to explain it in words. But what I can tell you is that I listen to my heart a lot. And if I feel something and I feel it in my heart and I feel something about this person, I feel a chemistry, a connection, then that's when I know I have a really good chemistry with this person. But the main thing for me is having a if I'm able to hold a conversation, if we're able to laugh just about anything and laugh. I like to laugh. I like to be happy all the time.
That's
And yeah,
awesome.
it is. And you know what? That goes with anybody, and it's not just with a male friend, or it could be with your girlfriends. Um, I have a handful of friends that I keep with me and that I know and I hope would be friends for life, because these are the girls that I have a certain chemistry with that I know I can't find with any other girls. Because some girls, if they just won't understand me, either they don't understand me or they can't handle me.
Ah, I wonder, like, as we get older, how come our friend circle shrinks so much?
It really does.
And you can be friends with someone for like, I don't know, 10, 15, 20 years, whatever it be. Then all of a sudden it's done and it changes. I don't know, because the person changes or whatever, but why is that? Because after 20 years, you develop a better chemistry relationship. So it should get better, or at least they maintain. So it's like interesting.
Well, everybody changes. So it could be that both goes through some changes and they're just not ready for those changes.
Yeah. You know what? I see. I know more people than I'm friends with, but those that get to know me, get to know the real me and everything about me, especially now with this whole conscious awareness and up loving my consciousness and living a life different. There's no such thing as good, bad, right, or wrong. People are getting to know me more. And I'm challenging myself. Like I'll touch on this. Like I said before, I grew up Jehovah's Witness, and and obviously we read the New Testament, right? Okay, first of all, is there Old Testament? Okay, if there is, why don't we read that Testament? And I realize in the New Testament, which the Old Testament does not have, is called the Revelations chapter, right? What talks about the end of the world, all this kind of stuff like that. And now I'm realizing, wait a minute here. To develop a better relationship with God, you really got to think about the relationship you want with God and do your research. And that's what I mean by now I'm to the level where people get to know who I really am, because I always get the, oh, you look kind of look like an asshole. You have this look in your face. Huh? I'm not an asshole. I may have a demeanor that looks very stoic. That's the best way to put it, politically correct. But I may have a demeanor that's different about me that people just kind of get this. Ooh, I'm not for sure. But when I get my mouth, I get the number. Oh wow, this guy's pretty cool, and I get that all the time. And because we're always making assumptions that we think is real, and it's not real, doesn't exist. So that's where you get to know the real me, and that's why at this age now, man, I'm just the floodgates are open, and yeah, I can't seal them up now. They're open.
That's funny. I was just thinking about like we keep talking about chemistry here and we forget that what comes with chemistry also is compatibility.
Yep.
Um not only, with, and it could be with just either with one person or it could be with many.
Yeah, it can be. That's why as you get older, you have small groups of friends, because small groups of friends kind of resonate higher. It's one thing we got to add to chemistry is resonating higher. Like if someone didn't believe what you believe, or at least want to accept something different, then obviously you're not gonna have chemistry. Like if you got one that's strictly all Republican and one that's all Democrat, they ain't gonna be friends because they may not see eye to eye. But if they want to exchange, hey, this guy has opinion, this guy has opinion, okay, cool, we used to be friends. Most time, if it's really I'm only Republican, you're only Democrat, we're not gonna get along because I have a different view than
Hmm.
you. We're always gonna argue. But that's where even what people comes, you can have chemistry in politics. If you just accept non-judgment, that what his opinion is neither right or wrong, and what your opinion is not right or wrong, because it's opinion based upon your life. So that's where a chemistry can be better if you just have a conversation with non-judgment.
You know what it is too is like with having chemistry, and some people, I've heard of this before, where some people are actually looking for it. They're looking to, have a certain chemistry with someone. You don't, I feel like you don't really look for that. It just comes. When you meet someone, you'll know if you have a chemistry for that person. But you have to know what you want. What do you really want? Because that's how you'll know if you have a chemistry with that person. It's just understanding what you want or what makes a person be compatible with you.
Yeah.
And, we're speaking of chemistry, we're talking about all different types of chemistry. You probably know this. We've also heard that, chemistry in bed.
Oh, I left that off.
Hmm.
That's huge. But, well, because remember, because I think I talked about it on a podcast before that um, I have a high value when it comes to sexual connection. I think we talked about that in the love language last podcast.
Hmm.
So yeah, in bed, man, if the connection is there, holy shit. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, it's like a high. It's like cloud nine kind of high, right?
I know. I look forward to it.
Do you? So
Yeah, I do.
yeah, so that's another type of chemistry. So it's not just, like a certain chemistry with somebody where you are comfortable talking to that person or you could be yourself with that person. But the other type of chemistry is also having like a certain chemistry with that person in bed.
Hmm.
And I think all that overall, if you can have all that with that person, like in bed and it's just everything. I can't even talk right now because it's like, damn, it's hard, and those are rare because sometimes you can have a good chemistry with somebody in bed, but you don't have that kind of connection outside of that,
Uh
or you have a certain connection or chemistry that you think, but in bed you don't.
huh.
Now,
Suffering.
can you have both?
I think you can have both if the conversation is open. Have both, but usually it could get worse and it gets better. But it all
What do you
depends
mean
on the individual.
worse?
Like if there's no chemistry in bed, you're not looking forward to having any kind of sexual relations with this person. You're not gonna look forward to it. The where you
That's
have
true.
chemistry in bed is where you look for it, you like think about it, you're like, at least for me, okay, you crave it, you want it, you desire it, and it's like shit, gotta have it.
And then when you have that chemistry with that person, you're excited. You can't wait to hang out with this person. You can't wait to see that person. And the time apart that you have, it's just sometimes it's just killing you, and well, thank God for FaceTime now, right?
Yeah.
You can actually FaceTime now.
Yeah. Thank
um
God.
yeah,
I
and
had an
then
iPhone, right? I have an iPhone.
yeah, that, and then also just waiting to see a text from that person or a call, or hoping for it. And when you have that, and when you feel all that, and you know that this person, you have a special connection with that person. And I said, you know what, like I said, it's not just necessarily with another with a partner. It could be with anybody, and it could be with a close friend.
Hmm. It can be. But it's so cool when it does happen. So cool.
And let me tell you, I do love, like, I can't even stress enough, and I can't even explain it right now in words, that feeling of when you have a special connection and that chemistry with somebody. It's
Yeah.
it's a very different kind of feeling, and like I said, it kind for me, it's not only is it fulfilling, you kind of feel complete.
Yeah. It's
And
freeing.
yeah, and you feel warmth, when you're around them, and it's just like you don't even want to end. You don't want the day to end when when you're with that somebody. Even when you're with your friends. Heck, when I'm out with my girlfriends, we're having a weekend getaway or even just overnight. It's like we can go on all night. We can just talk about anything. And we can go back to, when we were younger. We go back to stories back in the days, and we just talk about that.
Yeah, it does because you're just flowing. See, when we don't realize that when you meet that chemistry and that connection, right, at the same time, so you connect to have chemistry, it becomes more free and rewarding for ourselves. It's like, I found it. I like it. I don't look anymore because you found it with that person. And that's when that love then goes from chemistry to connection, no, connection to chemistry to love, then to unconditional love. And that's when everything starts to get stronger and better because everything is just flowing. And you're not looking for anything else but from that person.
And that is it. That's it. You're not looking for anything else. And you just continue on and move on and just keep going with your life.
That's it. So, you guys know what? Here's the takeaway from this chemistry from any angle is non judgmental, it's comes from a place of curiosity, it's effortless communication. It does have components of love, trust, infatuation, desire. It also has the component of emotional fulfillment. So when you find that chemistry, you find a connection, hang on to it and don't let it go because it will be more fulfilling for both parties and for yourself at the end. So again, this is Ron Johnson, life coach, leadership coach, motivational speaker, and health coach.
And again, I think we talked about relationship a lot here. So, in the context of relationships, chemistry is the simple emotions that two people get when they share a special connection. Um, I don't believe chemistry fade um, over time. It just continues and builds. And you'll know it. Like me, I know it and I feel it in my heart when I have a special connection with someone, and then when I have that chemistry with somebody. And it's something that you want to hold on to for as long as you can.
Yeah, you
And
do.
don't let go, because trust me, it's it's going to break you into pieces when you do let go of that, something that you found that you know you will never find again. Maybe, who knows. But anyway, again, this is Gloria, your life coach, and thank you for tuning into another episode of Life's a Shuffle.